Hello, welcome to this best of 3. It's a TVP, and this is from the Alina League replay pack. Unfortunately, I don't really know where it's from, which one it's from, so I don't know the results of this either. So we're in for a treat, I guess. I try and figure out what's going to happen here. It is a TVP, apparently, so this actually is not Gumiho versus Ryung. It's just that Ryung used or someone used Ryung's name. Sorry, I confused that. So with that knowledge, and I'm realizing this, let me see if I can actually find which match this was. This is Gumiho versus Trap. Okay, so I don't think we cast this. I think we cast Special versus Dark over on Base Trade TV. So I should not know what happens in this game. Shouldn't. Not really. Okay, it's gonna be a roller coaster, guys. We have in the top left Gumiho for Psystorm. In the bottom right, it is Trap as the red Protoss. Well, thank you for subbing. I guess as the game goes on, I might recognize stuff if in fact we did cast this, but I don't know. We either cast Dark versus Special or Gumiho versus Trap. And I know we eventually cast Trap. I'm not sure which Alina League it was. So I guess I could find out by watching the VODs. As we have nothing else going on in the early game here, just an SCV scout coming through. Yes, 126. Ah! Cat attack, cat attack. Oh, please, wow. Ah, I should really put a cat cam on. We do have a Stargate opener as a multitask here. So, Trap does like his Stargate openers. And then Gumiho is going for the typical 1-1-1. No surprise really there, although he is getting an engineering. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, he's engineering blocking. I can basically confirm I have not seen this then, because I didn't remember this happening at all. It's been a while since we've seen the engineering bay block. The purpose of this is actually to screw up the minerals. It also, I mean, I guess there's multiple purposes to this, because really the screwing up on the minerals isn't that effective. It's funny, because Trap is almost letting him screw him up. Well, no, yeah, I think it'd be better just to go on these minerals. But anyways, it also keeps whatever unit they make back at home. Maybe you see the second unit if they accidentally show it, which can give you a glimpse as to what the tech is, Stargate or Twilight Council. And, yeah, it does mess up that mining, so. It also stops, I guess, those units from going across the map, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to deal with the engineering base. So it's like a cool thing to do, but I wouldn't suggest doing it, to be honest. It seems the most effective on gold bases. But it is a way to get some odd amount of scouting. Now this 1-1-1 turned into a Widow Mine drop of reactored Widow Mine drops. So this is going to be a lot of Widow Mines, potentially. Sometimes we see these builds go up to 4, 6, 8 Widow Mines, and you just continue pumping medevacs and Widow Mines and hope that eventually they get a good shot. Now Gumiho's Reaper was denied, as is expected on Acid Plant, being a bad Reaper map. But he's still protecting himself against the Oracles because he's got so many Widow Mines, right? So that's really nice for him. We have Trap, though, going for a Proxy Pylon. Gonna add some aggression with the Oracle. Skirting around the Widow Mine. Doesn't know quite where it is, but is just figuring it's somewhere in the mineral lines. Is there one in here? There is one in the mineral line. This is a delicate situation with the Oracle. I'm not even sure that... Oh, there it is. I see it. I see it. Gumiho's gonna have to pull his SCVs towards it, otherwise, yeah, he's gonna lose some. This is nice. Very nice Oracle control. Behind it looks like Trap is gonna try and go for a faster third base, but this Reaper's kind of being cheeky. There finally goes the Widow Mine drop. So he has in total 8 Widow Mines and 2 medevacs. So we did kind of go hard on those Widow Mines like I was talking about, but eventually you do swap over, as we can see here, maybe get a tank or two. Especially if you're feeling like they might counterattack, but it's less likely when they open up a Stargate. They don't have anything powerful enough to really do so. That was a disaster. That was a complete disaster. The Oracles kill the Widow Mines before they can even burrow, and the Stalkers help out as well. And then on to the natural. Gumiho's opener. Oh, this is harsh. Oh! That might even get a great shot. Now those two Widow Mines did just kill the Stalkers, so not only a net gain there, trade Widow Mine, well, not even a trade, the Widow Mines lived, but Stalkers for Widow Mine shot, that's fantastic. He also managed to get 5 probes, finally finding something, but let's not really forget how much time he had to dedicate to do that with the 111. It's a fair amount, and as you can see, without going for the tank follow-up, or just, well, actually a tank might not have helped anyways, it's a bunch of adepts. There's not a lot of units here. The Cyclone ends up being the best choice. It will go down to the Oracle, I believe, but it helped take care of so many adepts that Gumiho is going to hold against this. And this is going to be a complete surprise to him. So this is a really nice hold, considering how screwed up it could have been. He had no idea about the pylon. You don't usually see that amount of adepts pair up with the Oracle. That was a shocker. Gumiho manages to keep his cool. The Cyclone first was a great option, and now he's going into tanks. And he should be good to go against the further adepts, but he did just pick up his medevac. So that might have not been the greatest idea. Well, that wasn't the greatest shade. Or was it? 3 Stalkers come in here. He's focus firing the Widow Mine. Does not get that second one, however. And with a medevac able to micro and no blink available, that is going to do okay on the defense. But the Oracle number has continued to rise. Who would expect this? What a scrappy, weird game played by Trap. As all of the Oracles look like they're going to survive just barely, and Gumiho is like, okay, what the hell, I didn't expect that. He's going to go ahead and get a 3rd Viking. A single tank, I think, is a good move, but this is just... A lot of the defense is around the factory, and, you know, he spent so much of his factory time on those Widow Mines that barely did anything, that he had a very tough time getting his head above water, basically. I think that he's you know, cool now, but, you know, behind this, Trap has just been doing the good old macro. I mean, Gumiho's not been messing up too much, but he has taken damage. His 3rd he's not going to be put on location for a while, continuing to take damage as the Oracles get in here. I do believe 1 was killed, but 2 still live. And Trap is on 58 probes to 38 SCVs, and not the place Gumiho wants to be. Maybe more like 15 SCVs down would be fine with Triple Mule, but 20 is a bit harsh. And on his way to better things than just regular old gateway units and Phoenix. Charge is on the way first, and he's going for Phoenix. Doesn't really need to, you know, expedite his way to Blink, although eventually we might see that. The Phoenix count did start late, but it is growing at a steady amount, so up to 5. That's pretty much enough to kind of deter drops you find in transit, which hopefully he does, as he has Oracles, right? So now that they've done so much damage, they've used their Pulsar Beam 100% of the time, now they should be using Revelation. Actually, I already have one on the Vikings, and maybe even a Stasis Trap or 2. But it looks like Gumiho was hoping there weren't any Phoenixes or they wouldn't be in this position as he flies right into them. Trap is playing an excellent game. And Gumiho, it's not that he's playing a particularly poor game, man. Like, it's just like so much. There's just so much happening. I can tell you some of the ways that might have gone better, but it all started with the 8 Widow Mine drop, the double, quadruple Widow Mine drop that failed. He's been recovering ever since. His 3rd C is put on location, but that tank is not going to be very helpful once the Phoenix pick it up, and Trap is on his way to Archons as well. He's got a huge army with a Warp Prism. This is going to be it, I think. Gumiho doesn't have Stim for this either, just seconds away. Not that it would have really helped. This is game. Trap just utterly dominated right here. Damn. Damn, son. Alright, well that was a very good game by Trap. That was a game that Protoss players will enjoy and Terran players will cringe at. $5 donation on Gumiho. Actually, since I don't know the results, I guess I could bet with you. Okay, this is the next game. I don't remember Dark vs. Special, but I usually miss the first hour of Elima League. Yeah, it would have been in the first hour. Okay, game number 2. Getting into it. In the bottom left on 16 bits, it is the purple Protoss, Trap, not Ryung. In the top right as the red Terran, he is Gumiho for Sidestorm Gaming, and this is his map choice being the loser of that last game. That's how it works in the Elima League. Can a medevac pick up a landed Viking? Yes, in fact, it can. It takes up 4 spots, maybe? Can you fit 4 Vikings or 2 Vikings in a medevac? I don't remember. Something along those lines, though. It's, like, funnily enough, that can be actually a very effective micro, because Vikings are kind of good now. I mean, let's go back to years before, right, where Vikings did not have the most recent health buff. That was the most recent one that no one really talks about because all eyes are on the Marauder. And Vikings just aren't that used that much anymore, right? But then they also got a buff to mechanical damage, so very specifically mechanical damage, not armored, unless they've got those reversed, which sometimes they do, but I'm pretty sure it's versus mechanical. They made them more effective in TVT early game, as well as TVP, as a lot of the units of Protoss are mechanical. So in a weird way, like, sometimes that pickup micro on a Viking can actually save your life. It doesn't happen often, but it can. Only 2. Ah, Rapid. You would know. How you doing? So, Trap played a just annoying game. I'm sure Gumiho was trying his best. I'm sure he's faced something similar to that, but it was just a little too much every single time. You know, like, the Oracle got too many SCVs with its first run through. It shouldn't have gotten 7, maybe it gets only 3. And then the 3 Oracles were a surprise, and his Viking had to be used on the front line, so that shouldn't have done as much damage as that, you know, would have done. Maybe he gets a bunker. Maybe he brings one of those Widowmine medevacs back home and he realizes he's going to be under a lot of pressure. Maybe he scouts the damn pylon that was proxied, and then he knows there's going to be a lot of pressure. They don't put a pylon there that early unless they're doing something silly, like warping a lot of adepts, or maybe DTs, which would be very unlikely since he knew it was a Stargate opener. But he didn't do any of that, so it was just one thing after another, and Gumiho could never really catch up, so he lost to just a simple push from Trap. This game should be different. We already have a different build coming out for Gumiho, so that's like 100% will be different. The 111 is such a good build for Terrans, to be honest. Like, it's so flexible. You can go for Cyclones, Tanks, Widowmines, Viking, Liberator, like, you name it, right? But there are definitely good reasons to go for other builds. Of course, this is kind of a weird one where he goes for Double Reaper, and it looks like almost it's going to be a 2-on-1. I'm actually not 100% sure what Gumiho is going to do here. He's also getting a fast engineering bay, but I am interested. The Trap, as I said in the last game, he does like his Stargates. Whereas Zest, maybe you always see him go for Twilight Council opener. I think Trap always goes for Stargate opener. That's something that Gumiho can bank on and then tailor his build towards it. It is going to be a 2-on-1. The way that he set up his SimCity means that Trap does not know about this. Sometimes, like, certainly I do this, right? But people put their factory right here, their second barracks right here. No reason to do that. The probe's gonna actually get that scout, so just put it behind, way behind, and they gotta wait for the Oracle, which will inevitably scout this. And it's not like it's a triple racks surprise push, so he's gonna have time to prepare for what is a 2-on-1, but it is gonna differ how this game goes. Thank you. I really have to memorize how to say your name. I have to constantly scroll up. Muad Bunk. Actually, these 2 Reapers are gonna go to town a little bit here. For that donation, $3.70. Lost the bet on Gumiho. Also, sorry, it's in Australian dollars. So that's alright. I thought you meant Gumiho in the entire best of 3, but okay, alright. 4 probes go down to 2 Reapers. Now, 2 Reapers is a lot of gas. They're such a given in the first... The 1 Reaper is such a given that I think sometimes we forget that Reapers are 50 gas, but I don't know if that was really worth it. I think the most important thing is I got some scouting, but again, the Oracles was not that much of a surprise. Second Oracle and a third Oracle are on the way. This time, though, Gumiho is not going to have those Widow Mines to try and protect him, which... he didn't have as many as he should have because he lost them to the drop, and he also only had 1 each mineral line, which Trap did an amazing job of kind of revolving around. He has a missile turret, and he has a lot of Marines. So the Marines were out of position, and Trap is continuing to find little things here and there. Such a great Oracle play, but also really annoying. As, Gumiho, I mean, he should just leave his Marines in the mineral line. He has nothing else to do with them until the medevacs pop out, which they are about to. But this is specifically where I think Gumiho is hoping his build would shine, is that he has enough units, not just, you know, a couple of important units, like a Widow Mine and a Cyclone, but enough units with Stim, almost 2, to push back not just Oracles, but Oracles plus Stalkers plus Adepts, plus a 16-bit, so he has the wall already ready to go, as opposed to, you know, last game, where he had to build a bunker if he wanted a good defense on the front line. So he deals with that. He even got an Oracle with the Marines. Now he has 2 drops headed over to the other side of the map. And Trap's actually in a little bit of trouble, because he doesn't have, like, super powerful units against units with Stim, specifically. So he even is caught a little out of position. The Oracles have to be very careful with how they engage. They are so helpful with their Pulsar Beam, but not if they're focus fired. Second Oracle goes down, only even with 1 more, and these Phoenix aren't going to be that helpful either. Oracle instantly popped, Phoenix popped. This will be enough to take care of it, but he did take out most of the anti-air, the Phoenix plus a Stalker. So this should get out, at least one of the medevacs should live. Get that both of them. Yeah, there's still enough Marines left over. Oh, I guess this probe was scouting for the timing of the 3rd base. Okay, that was awkward. Which it will see. And then one of the medevacs will go down. The Adepts are chasing, but Trap can't really do anything more here. He's got to be careful not to overstep. It's great that he defended, but don't try and counter. Gumiho is working off of a nice bit of production, and he's going to have +1 armor soon, as well as combat shields, probably most importantly. This pylon should be found out. I guess it was seen as one Marine goes over to take care of it, and it's not like Trap can really use it before it dies, because he has to warp in so much back at home, knowing this push is on the way. We have 2 tanks involved with this. If the shade on top of the tanks, it doesn't look so great, but that's going to require a serious judgment call on if that'll be worth it against these Marines that are about to have +1. They have combat shields. The Adept shade through, but I'm not sure why, as they weren't supported. But I guess Trap figured he was dead anyways, so he just pulled the trigger. And then GG'd. Living that 5 AM StarCraft life. Why don't you live that life? Alright, so then they accidentally did a ZVP, which they didn't mean to do, and then it is game number 3 on Darkness Sanctuary. So this would have been Trap's choice, which I'm always like, for Zerg, it's obvious why they choose this map, but I'm always curious why the other races choose it. I don't think I've seen a Terran choose it at all, but this is the second time I've seen a Protoss choose it. Let's get over to the scene. The score up. Here we go. Game number 3, the ace match of this best of 3. In the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, his map choice, it is Trap. In the bottom left is the red Terran. He is Gumiho. We're up in that Psystorm Gaming, probably their best pickup ever. Psystorm picks up very great players, and I guess, you know what, True is a real contender for that, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's the Terran to me that says Gumiho's cooler. But both of them have some funky styles. Both are really fun players to watch. Anyway, we've been seeing a couple of Terrans go for CC first against Protoss on this map, even against Zerg, actually. Still a bit of a gamble. But this is one of the reasons that you feel you can get away with it. It's by the time they do even scout you, there's not much they can do. The CC's done. Worst case scenario, you lift the CC and hold behind your wall. And then they'd have to already be doing something aggressive, really, to punish it, which most people aren't going to do any one-base builds on a huge map like this. They're going to go for their Nexus Expand after Gateway, which I expect Trap to do. He is going to have the last scout possible, which is quite unfortunate. I do believe counterclockwise is by far the more popular way of scouting. And there's no reason for that, by the way. It's just like human nature or something. It just is what people do. So it, you know, burns Trap here. If Gumiho was scouting, he would scout the right direction. But not even going for a Reaper, just opening up with a Marine. If the probe had scouted the correct location with the second base, then the Marine would have been out, but clearly Marine or Reaper, this would have been out in time, as that probe is going to be quite late. Well, this allows you to get a faster factory. You don't have scouting, but you can gamble a little bit. Now, last time I saw Gumiho gamble on this map, Well, he didn't really gamble. It wasn't too much of a gamble anyways, but he didn't scout, that's for sure. He got one base Baneling busted. And it was funny. But that's the risk you take sometimes. Luckily, Protoss can't Baneling bust. Looks like Trap isn't going to bother scouting the bottom left. He just wanted to know where his opponent was. Oh, no, he is. Just taking his Hanaga first. Not sure if that would have seen anything important. I don't think so. Maybe if he was proxying a barracks in the middle of the map. That's a Hellion follow-up. Just a single one, though. You usually see that swap off to the reactor if you're going to go for Hellions. And he might do that after the Marines are done. Or he might just build 2 Hellions. He might go for a drop in the main and then 2 Hellions to the natural. I'm not sure the timing is on this. Can you actually get 4? I don't think so. Well, the Adept's going to scout that to Hellion at all, which is a little concerning. These Hellion builds, even if you do scout them, if you can't get a wall, and Darkness Nature is very difficult for anyone to get a wall off, they just do a lot of damage. All right, it's 1 Hellion into 1 Cyclone. This Hellion's kind of nice. It will die to Adepts. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of health, but it does scout the proxy pylon, and Gumiho knows he's going to be under that, probably under the same pressure he was under on Acid Plants. Multiple Oracles, as many Adepts as Trap can get. He did take out that Hellion. Don't have to worry about it sneaking in and getting a couple probe kills. Hey, Anubis X Hades. Why did I bet on Gumiho when the results were available? It's a good question, man. I didn't find the results, so. But I did know something else, so I think I know what happens, but I'm not 100% sure. This Banshee is a very interesting choice, but what has happened in all these games, right, has been a lot of Adepts and Oracles, and then Phoenix, so nothing would be able to shoot up to kill the Banshee. I guess it is a good defense. My only concern is that it is quite expensive, and eventually those Phoenix do come out. So maybe you hold against the kind of measly Adept pressure that Trap's not even really investing into. He's going for 3rd base, but then do you really do anything with the Banshees after that? I don't think so. Not when there's so many Oracles and the ability to make Phoenix. I like Trap's decision too, by the way. You know, the pylon died, it was scouted, there's God knows what behind the wall here because he's to scout what's in the main base. So he just doesn't really do much with it. Instead expands and goes on to Forge and Twilight Council. Thank you for gifting another sub to Anubis X Hades. That's very kind of you, sir. Or madame. Didn't actually catch. That's 2 shield batteries. I guess seeing the amount of Cyclones and then the tank production plus Banshee production, I mean, this could have easily just been someone paranoid, you know? Keeps the 2 Cyclones at home, keeps the tank siege at home, and then does the Banshee damage. But I think Trap knows Gumiho, and I think this is a good push to do. Did that Banshee already die? It did. That died super quickly. Only 2 probes killed, and not going to be able to help in the front lines anymore. But Trap is not underestimating this just because he's dealing with the Banshee as well. The Cyclone's still scary. The amount of Marines as fodder is still scary. And that tank could get into a good position. So, gotta be careful. But he has all of his air units alive, which is a significant difference from that last game, where he lost an Oracle, then another one, and then the Phoenix got focus fired. That was a huge contributor as to why he just had to tap out like he did. Now he has the full fleet. Well, it's a very tiny fleet, but he has it. So, you know, pick up the tank, Marines get slaughtered by the Oracles, powering away, and now it's Gumiho's time to say, I guess that's not going to work, and he backs off. Now he's going to go for a bit of a greedy style behind this. He went for double engineering bay as opposed to double barracks first. The 3rd CC is I think, a normal amount of greed, honestly, but these upgrades are quite concerning because look how much that delays the barracks production, and then imagine how much that delays the stim and combat shields. So I'm not sure I like this too much, even if he is going to have better upgrades than his opponent, which doesn't usually happen in this matchup. I don't know, man. I don't know. And of course, Trap has perfect scouting with his units, so he knows, you know, he's going to see the 3rd CC's put down location. He's going to see that there's no combat shields at the very least on these units. And if you check the main... What? Why? Okay. If he checked the main... Oh, the Banshee, that's why. But the Banshee was really, really, really bad It was attacking into a gas geyser, and also there's a shield battery, so that's why I didn't realize it was over there. It wasn't killing anything. But that was a good recall. I understand it now. But I think that this is the correct move. I was going to say how the Oracle could have gotten in here and also seen how late the production of the barracks were, so there's just no way the sim would be done. There's not going to be a lot of Marines. It's cool that Gumiho is trying to survive with the supply depots here. And to note, I think he's going to die here. That's almost doubling the army supply with all of the air units still alive. I don't think that the double upgrades are not going to be available, are they? Necessarily killed Gumiho. This is kind of a wonky game. Oh. Actually, this isn't going so poorly. Well, a lot of SCVs still die. Never mind, this is going poorly. There's a bit of a choke effect here as the tank wasn't picked up like I thought it was going to be, but Trap still pushes through. Yeah, Stim and Combat Shield still wouldn't have been done, I don't think, even if he hadn't gone for the double upgrades. Maybe Combat Shields would have been. And he would have had more Marines. Actually, no, I think that might have still killed him. Oh, well. That is a dead Gumiho. Not really any chance of a counterattack because he still is waiting for Stim. 3rd CC looks like it is going to die. Maybe? That's a lot of Phoenix. They don't do that much damage to a structure, but it's just a lot of Phoenix. Yep, it's going to die. No SCVs even trying to get ahead on the repair. And Gumiho is just focused on surviving, but I mean, for what? He's up against a 3rd Nexus, which I guess isn't actually saturated, but is still there. And the Banshees still have not done anything. Once again, a good choke because the tank is not picked up. Team's out of energy at this point, but that is it. GG. Gumiho does fall, and Trap would advance on to the rest of the bracket.